Tony D and Little Joan, and this is a screenwriter's rant on the Garfield movie starring Chris Pratt and Samuel L. Jackson. Seriously? Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 13, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So this is the scene where John meets Garfield. Garfield's a tiny abandoned kitten, and John is a very, very nice, lonely man. Lets him in to the pizza place and gives him pepperoni, and he eats the whole pizza and eats everything, because that's Garfield's deal. Here's John giving him a bath. Here's John feeding him and his dog lasagna, and so the plot of the movie apparently involves Garfield meeting his real father, who is played by or voiced by Samuel L. Jackson, I guess. At least it's a different role for Samuel L. Jackson. And then, of course, I guess the dad moves in with him and John. And then you can submit your video to be part of the movie. Submit your cat video. So it's a cutesy movie. It should do okay. It should do fine. Samuel L. Jackson, I don't know why, but okay. I mean, you really don't even need Chris Pratt for a movie like this, but people do like Chris Pratt. I think people are getting sick of Samuel L. Jackson. I know I'm just sick of seeing him in everything, but at least we're not actually seeing him. We're just hearing his voice, and I don't think he's doing the same delivery, so that's a bonus. Jeez, dude. I'm waiting for him to do a movie where he sounds and looks completely different, but Chris Pratt's fine, I guess. It's not really his, it's not really a role for him. I think Pratt, his voice is fine, but really the selling point of Pratt is he's a very physical comedic actor, especially when he was Andy on Parks and Rec. Man, he did some great physical falls, and he's still in shape. He's still an action guy. I know, Joan. I'm doing the thing. And so in this, I mean, it's just like, okay, we'll put him in that too. It's the same sort of thing. But on the upshot, I think because Pratt's involved, I don't think he'd be involved. He's got a little power now in Hollywood. He's got some pull. I don't think he'd be involved in this project if it was any way woke. It just is probably a nice kids movie. It looks like a nice kids movie. So I think it'll be fine. Garfield's been around forever. Bill Murray did the voice at one point, which to me that was more appropriate. He was more suited for that. But even he is a little too cheerful for the character. I think the character is kind of a grump, but they're making him a lot more cheery, I think, in this version. Garfield just sits around. He picks on Odie a lot of times. He picks on John, really. This is a very cutesy opening with Garfield as a kitten. But it works. Yeah. Super cute, and then he eats all the pizza. So that works. So I think your kids will like this. Would I see it? I definitely wouldn't go to the theaters for it. I might see it on streaming if I didn't have to pay for it. It's an inoffensive movie to me. It's not something I need to see, but if it was on, I'd watch it. This is the kind of movie you could probably put right on TV. No problem, just put in the commercials. Although these days, who watches TV? Will it be a hit? I think it'll do okay. Right? I think it'll do okay. It's from Sony. Depending on when they release it. When did they say they're going to release this thing? This summer. Kind of depends on what it's up against. Right? They released this on a week. There's not a lot of stuff going on. Or something dropped 2 weeks ago, and now there's really nothing. I mean, there might be nothing this summer. I mean, in terms of movies, or not much this summer. You know, they're scrambling to get um, the Captain America 4 movie out by February, I think. Um, but there's not a lot of stuff in the pipeline now. So stuff that was partially finished that could come out. Like I think Deadpool, I think that comes out in the spring. That'll be a fun movie. So it might not have a lot of competition, which will make it do well. Like if you're dying to see a movie, where you can just sort of relax and not have to worry about a bunch of nonsense or preaching, Joan. This is a perfect movie. So, yeah, come here. Speaking of cute animals, first act, it's about how John and Garfield met, right? Remember how we met? I saw you in a pet store. I could hold you in my hand. Yeah, it was cute. Then he goes home with John and becomes a fat, lazy, indolent cat. And then Odie's there, and they probably spend the first act doing some old bits from Garfield, some classic bits. Second act is the introduction of his dad. Runs into him. I'm not sure where or why. And there's some tension there, and maybe he has to go on a journey to help his dad do something. And then they end up back in John's house, I guess? Or maybe that's before. It's kind of hard to tell. Because it's comedy, kids movie. It's not going to be that intense. So there's probably going to be a moment where Garfield has to choose between his dad, who abandoned him, who I guess is kind of a jerk, and John, who's always been nice to him. Right? And then in the end, even though Garfield kind of abuses John, he probably picks John. I could see that being the plot. And the message is, be nice to the people who are nice to you. I guess. I think that's okay. It's an okay message. Let's see if there's a write-up here. A little bit. Monday just got a whole lot better. Watch the Garfield movie trailer now. Coming exclusively to movie theaters. Yeah, and the way Sony has been dropping things, I think it should do well for them. At the very least, it'll do well. Will it be gangbusters like Mario? I don't know. I don't think it has the kind of legs that the Mario Brother movie or the kind of recognition that Guardians has. I don't know if it's a worldwide phenomenon, Garfield. It'll definitely do well in the States where he is known. I'm not sure. Maybe like in the UK and English-speaking countries. I'm not sure it's a worldwide phenomenon. I'm not sure the Asians will be like, oh, Garfield. But maybe. I don't know how well the other movies did in those realms. But, yeah, totally inoffensive. And the animation looks fine. So, Garfield. The Garfield movie. Not about James Garfield, the president, but about the cat. And that's it for me, Tony D, and cute little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble later for our more bass takes. Having a little bit of an issue with Bitchute, trying to figure it out, but we'll get it going. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.